What's going on, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. As it is Oscar Sunday. That's right. The Academy Awards is this Sunday coming up. So we already did a betting favorites prediction on the last episode. So I'm gonna leave the link in the description below of the Academy link, so you guys can check out who's nominated for who and what in each category, so y'all can check out your final check to see who's nominated, and you can and leave a comment down below and who you think is gonna take home the most awards tonight. So yeah. It's Oscar Sunday, and it will be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, and it will air at 8 p.m. on ABC. So don't forget to check that out. So with that done, we got a movie review today, and we got a lot of tons of news to discuss. So without further ado, let's get started. So the Hulk and Namor, or someone might say Namor, rights could go back to Disney in a Hulu deal. So this is what this is a news article I got. Jason Benson doesn't think that a mass marketing DTC offering fits Disney's portfolio, as it might take Comcast distribution's rights to two Marvel characters, Hulk and Namor, as comparison. So, in case you guys might not know, the Hulk and Namor are still properties of Universal, just like Spider-Man is still a property of Sony. So, if they were to do like a solo project of Hulk and Namor, then and if Disney wants to buy the rights back from Universal, then I can see Hulk and Namor doing a solo project for Hulu, and except maybe Disney Plus. I don't know, but we still have to wait and see, because they're still as far as the Hulk, they still want to do World War Hulk. But the question is, like, who's going to be the one to distribute that project? And then same for Namor, when he get his own solo project, who's going to distribute that? But the latest news we got, as far as Namor in the future of MCU, is that he will be in the next Avengers movie. So yeah, we just have to wait and see what the future holds for the Hulk and Namor, or Namor, whatever you want to call it. Creed 3 exceeded box office predictions, smashing franchise records. So Michael B. Jordan's Creed 3 crosses 100 million globally, including 41 million debut overseas. So like I said, this is the highest right now. This is the highest grossing sports movie ever. So if y'all have not seen Creed 3 yet, y'all better go see it. That's all I'm gonna say. Next up, we have Anna Taylor-Johnson joined Robert Edwards' vampire film Nefertiti. Sorry I pronounced the name, but Robert Eggers' Nefertiti begins filming as horror remake as Anna Taylor-Johnson. So Taylor-Johnson joined a stacked cast that includes Bill Skarsgård, William Dafoe, and Lily Rose Depp. That's going to be very interesting, and hopefully we get some more news on when production starts and when it's going to be their release date in theaters. Next up, we got news on an Aliens movie moving forward, as the cast was announced. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Plot details are being kept in a crowd chamber, but as opposite to the other movies, which focus on adults, incorporating masculine and scientific roles. This now ninth installment of the franchise will focus on a group of young people as a distant colony, as the groups find themselves in a fight for their lives with a teen alien with a creator known as if as Morpheus, that's what I call it. But who's raised to premiere by implanting eggs into people's stomachs via face husk, with a Juvia eventually violent bursting out his host chest. Spinelli leads the cast in a role that compared to one that Simon River did in the inaugural Aliens movie. So the way I see it, this will be compared to what they did with the Predator in their last movie, Prey. So I do see this film kind of being a um, either a direct sequel to the very first Alien, or maybe a prequel to that. So I see the road that they're going on here. So, and I can definitely see this movie being released on Hulu. That's if they already announced they said it being on Hulu. But yeah, it look kind of interesting. Let's see where they can go from there. Hugh Jackman on an insane Wolverine prep with an 8,000 calorie diet. So this is what this article says. Hugh Jackman is bulking up for the Wolverine by eating over 8,000 calories a day. That includes chicken, burgers, salmon, and more. So let's see if we got more news on that. Reading more of the article. Hugh Jackman is officially in Wolverine mode. The actor shares a photo of his daily meal plan as he bulked up phrase going into the overdrive ahead of filming Deadpool 3, in which he will reprise his role as Wolverine upside Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. The film marks the first Deadpool movie and Jackman's first time playing Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bunking, a day of life. Jackman wrote as a caption a way of sharing a photo of his 6 meals as he will eat in a given day. Thank you, Chef Mario, for helping me stay healthy and properly fed and wasted, becoming Wolverine again. Jackman's meals includes black mass, Parma salmon, 2 chicken burgers, 2 grass-fed sirloin. That means Jackman has consumed over 8,000 calories a day now, as he buckled up for Wolverine. To put that in perspective, Jonathan Majors ate 6,000 calories for 4 months in order to play a bodybuilder in his Buzzy Sundance movie, uh, Magazine Dreams. Jackson is eating far more. So yeah, so you could definitely see that Hugh Jackman is definitely getting into Wolverine shape for Deadpool 3. So I can't wait to see Deadpool. I think that's coming out in 2024. I believe so. They did say 2024, but I can't wait. So moving on. Avatar 2: The Way of Water digital release with 3 hours of bonus material. James Cameron Avatar: The Way of Water will be available for all major digital retailers, including Prime Video, Apple TV, Vudu, and Movies Everywhere on March 28th. Digital editions will also be available on 4K Ultra HD with a Dolby Atmos audio. So no mention on a Disney Plus release. The Avatar: The Way of Water will come as more than 3 hours, never before seen bonus content featuring filmmakers, cast and crew. Amongst bonus content will be featured on a challenges facing cast and crews as filmmakers as they look to build a world of Pandora, looking at Pandora's return and new characters, as well as bonuses on cast, stunts, and many other aspects in making of the film. So you guys get to see the behind the scenes and everything. So I would recommend check it out if you guys gonna buy like the Blu-ray, the DVD, and stuff like that. So So yeah, I can't wait for this movie to come out on digital. I can't wait to see this movie again. But moving on, the first reactions for John Wick Chapter 4 says is amazing. So let's look at these a couple of tweets here. This one is from Catherine Terrell, and she says, Chapter brings it to the next level with John Wick 4. Mind-blowing action sequence. The fantastic world building continues. Keanu Reeves kills it, but Donnie Yen is a show stealer. That's a good one. Let's look at the next one. John Wick Chapter 4 is an insane throughout the entire film. Kane, who is played by Don Yeager, steals every scene he is in. An expectation. The action in this film is next level. The film has definitely let me want more. Lastly, there is a post-credit scene that I recommend staying for. So, this is the first that a John Wick movie has a post-credit scene. So, thank you for that note. Next, we got from Eric Eisenberg, and he says, I had reservations about John Wick Chapter 4 in its nearly 3-hour runtime. So, in case y'all didn't know, John Wick is 3 hours. The movie has earned it. In an epic way, smart pacing that has never let the action feel exhausting. And the set pieces are phenomenal. The great cast of series newcomers, but Don Yen is the MVP. So we got a couple of reactions that Keanu Reeves and Don Yen has stole the show. And this one is from Aaron Newthway. Says, John Wick Chapter 4 is incredible. A synopsis of control and carefully choreographed violence. Every shot in this movie is interesting. The cast is great. The action is beyond impressive. In which such a long run time, it has never felt that I want less of what's taking place. So I feel like everyone had a good time in this 3-hour one. So it kind of make you kind of feel like, even though it's 3 hours, but they kind of like went through as you are very enjoying the film. I think this is the last one. This is from Ian Sandwell. Says, John Wick Chapter 4 is absolutely huge. Yes, it is long, but it's outrageously good set pieces more than it makes up for it. A slick, brutal, stash iron epic adventure that sees Keanu Reeves puts himself further more than before, with moments that have fans talking. So, this is a lot of good news, y'all. I can't wait for John Wick Chapter 4 to come out next week. But we got one last one, and this is from Courtney Howard. Says, brow bold and badass. John Wick Chapter 4 brilliantly balanced vested states in an absolute spectacular high and coordinated thrill ride. A sources seer soaring chapter in the saga. The wildest time you will have in the movies this year. A pure adrenaline rush. So I believe that. So I can't wait. So moving from John Wick Chapter 4 to Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods. The first reactions suggested that it's better than the first one. Let's see what AJ Jensen had to say about it. Shazam Fury of the Gods is exhilarating. David S. Sandberg whips up the captivating and truly funny story that can be celebrated with the whole family. Rachel Zendel, Jack Dylan Grayer, and Doom Hasdu are standouts for me. Fury of the Gods is a superpower fun. So we got a good reaction there. So let's look at some more. This is coming from Eric Eisenberg, and he says, Shazam Fury of the Gods is a super fun and worthy sequel. Not a game-changing comic book movie, but it wins you over with its characters and energy. Has some real surprises and no accessibility that suits it well. Plus some creative and exciting monster action. So that's a good one there. And moving on. This is from Courtney Howard. Says, Shazam Fury of the Gods. Shazam movie is a superpower sequel that packs a punch. A super solid, super fun, and super smart blend in a hilarity, heart, and heroics. Revs up the action in a very to the delight degree. Helen Mirren and Lucy Lou and Rachel as Zeners are MVPs. Love the dragon. We got a lot of dragon issues. Sound like they going Game of Thrones here. But moving on. This is from Daniel Dapatis, and he says Shazam Fury of the Gods is a magical and hilarious family adventure. Jason F. Sandberg supercharges everything that made into the first film special. With a heart of the story will always be Shazam family. Rachel Zell, Jack Dylan, and Grace steal every scene. So this is a good one here. Let's go to the next one. This is from Jamie Bradwans, and he said, Shazam continues to lead in its silliness and immature in this sequel, which tells us the franchise will remain to keep these films funny, light, and slapstick. The sequel comes more and compelling villains and a compelling anti-hero. Okay. And this is from James Gunn himself. And he says, I love it. It is a complete blast. Zachary Levi and Ed Zanzibar and Rachel Zessa and the whole crew kill it. And this next one comes from Matt Fernandez says, lots of folks knew Shazam was my second favorite superhero, and I'm a huge fan of the first film. I recently got to see Shazam Fury of the Gods, and well, it is an electrifying, entertaining adventure. So, a lot of good notes here. So yeah, I definitely gonna be checking out Shazam Fury of the Gods this coming weekend. So let's hope this is really good, as they say. So moving on to the next topic, the next James Bond has been cast, says Taylor Egerton, and he says he thinks the role has already been figured out, and this is what he said. Yeah, I mean, I think they have already gotten somebody, but it's not me, says Agador. Yeah, I mean, I have never been a part of the conversations. I had never met with Broccoli's. They had never inquired about me. I have never been one of those guys that they're looking for. I just don't think I'm the right person for that. I think there's much, much, much better candidates for that role than me. But you know, I have been very willing audience member. There are brilliant films. So, I think Tyron Israel was a candidate, but he probably just probably know that he wouldn't be the right choice for it. So he probably knew who got probably got chosen, but he probably won't say it. So we'll just have to wait and see who's the next Bond. Daredevil's Foggy and Karen will not return for the Disney Plus series. And the first one says, Daredevil Born Again cast does not include Deborah Ann Will and Edgar Helsing. Charlie Cox Daredevil co-stars Darren Anwell and Edward Heston will not be returning for Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again. And this is the article says, from Pure Hollywood Reporter, Will and Hansen will not be reprising their respective roles from Netflix's Daredevil series as Karen Page and Farrah Nancy in the upcoming Disney Plus series. It is unclear whether their characters will be recast in Born Again or if they will be excluded entirely from the story. The news is part of a larger story about Jack Barrow's coming back to play Frank Castle, the Punisher, in Daredevil Born Again, making him the third actor after Cox, Matt Murdock, and Vince before Wilson friends, aka Kingpin, will reprise their Netflix Marvel roles in the MCU prior. So this is gonna be very interesting, and I hope Daredevil Born Again turns out really soon. Like, you don't have to make it too kid friendly. Make it like a PG-13 violence. Like, give us some good violence. You know what I'm saying? So I hope it don't be too kid friendly. That's all I'm saying. But Albrecht confirms he is starring in the Room remake. And this is what he tweeted out. This is real. This is true. Let me tell you, I tried my best to sell every line, and honestly I could, and I had a blast. So he is in obviously in the next movie, but we just want to hear news from nobody too. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing else about him except only him making a Nobody 2. That's what I'm waiting for. So, but a huge congratulations to him for landing another role. But I just want to hear the news on when we're getting Nobody 2. That's just me. Mission Impossible test screenings are a huge success, but it's almost 3.5 hours long. And this is what Bob Bishop had to say. Bosch Ishman, president of Paramount Global, revealed during the Paramount panel at the 2023 Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Entertainment Conference on March 8th that the first test screening for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, aka MI7, has started. I haven't seen all of MI7, but I have seen a bunch of it. Benson says we have actually did the first test screening for the audience last week, and the audience lost their minds, and it's still too long. They have got to cut it, but the movie's insane. It looks like it's going to be a complete theater ride. Listen, I got no problem being a 3-hour movie. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Keep it 3 hours. If you want to keep that thing at 3 hours, I don't care. But if you do got to cut it down a bit, then by the time we get to from its theatrical run, and then give us a director's cut or extended cut, making it at that of 3 hours. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But moving on, Star Wars producers saying are suing Lucasfilm over the Accolade firing. So this is from IndieWire. Says Lucasfilm had dealt with plenty of shakeups over in Star Wars recently, but now the studio is facing a full-fledged lawsuit over their beloved franchise. Lawyers for producer Cam McCarter have filled out a lawsuit against Lucasfilm over her acting for the upcoming Disney Plus series show, The Accolade. The Deadline is reporting. According to files they obtained by Deadline and submitted to the airline's Supreme Court on Tuesday, McCarthy, whose former producing credits, including Ballers, Insecurity, and House of Cards, is suing for a breach of contract over her dismissal from the Accolade upcoming Star Wars show. So there's a lot of firings over there, but yeah, it's crazy. But the specific monarchy damage asked for is unclear. But the lawsuit claims that McCarthy lost out on millions of dollars as a result of Lucasfilm allegedly caught in bad faith and wrong termination. So, man, I don't know what they're doing, but I hope it's a good news. But and then lastly, Lucasfilm declined to comment. But in a statement to IndieWire, one of McCarthy's attorneys, Robert Allen, referred to the suit as a last resort after a bizarre and untimely termination. Man, that's crazy. But moving on, guys. Warner Brothers confirms that more Harry Potter movies and a possible Potter studio is like to happen like Marvel. So I thought they already had a studio when they mentioned the Wizarding World. So don't know now they already have that. So I don't know. But let's read what Variety had to say. The Winfair took the opportunity to talk about the future of all Harry Potter things, and After praising a new direction fellow Warner Brothers Discovery brand DC is taking under this new leadership. The fact that we are enjoying the massive success with the Hogwarts Legacy launch 12 years after the first film came out shows that there is much opportunity and we are only just getting started to expand that. Whitfield said that while we did not suspect the specifically mention of any new Potter related movies in the works, he has strongly hit that the audience have never seen the last of the Wizarding World, pointing towards to the upcoming Harry Potter tour in Tokyo, suggests that the company has further plans. Long story short, I think that this is one company approach that great leadership in the development business units, but according to the franchise and management, it's probably is one of the biggest opportunity the company has had. He said. So this tells me that they're going to get a new leadership in the Wizarding World company after some people might say, the Fantastic Beasts trilogy hasn't been a great to some audience. So I can see where they're going here because they want to follow what DC is doing under their new leadership. So the Wizarding World feel like that under a new leadership they can get back on track. So I can see what they're doing there. Batman, the Captain Crusader animated series gets a Amazon sequel order. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. It says the streamer and retail giant has hand over a 2-season order for the animated series, in which originally set up at HBO Max. The Captain Crusader landed as Jennifer's SAG lead streamer following Warner Brothers animated parent company Warner Brothers Discovery scrapped the show in August, more than a year after its order straight to the series, and around cut costing other streamers, including Netflix, Apple, Hulu, also kissed ties on the project that makes a reunion for executive producer J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves, who previously collaborated on the WB Network's Felicity. So we all knew the this was gonna happen, but I think I probably already touched on it before on that announcement, but I can't wait to see the animated series. So it sucks that HBO Max had to cut ties, but at least we're getting on Prime Video. That's all it good. At least the series did not scrap entirely. So thank you Prime Video. So at least we get to see the Captain Crusader the series. A Creed universe is coming from Michael B. Jordan, and this is what Variety has to say. On the heels of the success of MGM's Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan and Amazon are in talks for a film and TV universe expanding the Creed boxing world, Variety has confirmed. Details are scarce regarding what projects are being discussed, but sources say that conversations are underway to explore the possibilities for capitalizing on the MGM film franchise success on Prime Video following MGM's acquisition of MGM. So, there's already been talks for a Creed 4. That's we already know. What other projects could be in line? We still don't know yet. So we just have to wait and see what they're gonna do. But I'm excited for it, and like I said again, if you have not seen Creed 3, go watch it. Mark Ruffalo says the Hulk is needed to save the Thor franchise. So, in case you guys not have seen Thor Ragnarok, the Hulk was in there, and a lot of people say Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie. So I can see where he's going with this. But let's see what he had to say. I had a soft spot for Chris Hemsworth, so I keep waiting for them to invite me back to the Thor franchise to save it. That's a joke. I'm canceled, Ruffalo said. seemingly poking fun at the Thor: Love and Thunder becoming one of Marvel Studios' lowest ranking movies with a 6.3 rating on IMDb and a B plus grade on Cinema Score. So yeah, I can see what he's going from here. So um yeah, but I don't know when he might. I don't know if they're gonna make another Thor movie after what happened at Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know, but that's up to Marvel. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But as far as I know, the Hulk, they're leaning towards a World War Hulk, and that's all I can say. And if Chris Hemsworth got more Thor in his contract, we'll see where it goes from there. Beetlejuice 2 is looking to cast as Janet Ortega as the film moves forward. And this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Ortega is circling a major role in Beetlejuice 2. While nothing is official just yet, there is a tentative production start date in late May or early June, depending on the budget being settled. If she gets cast, it is said that Ortega will be playing the daughter of Ryan's. Michael Keaton and Tim Burton are both expected to return for Beetlejuice 2. That sounds interesting. And I can't wait to see what else they got planned for Beetlejuice 2. And then lastly, Bob Iger announces that a few MCU sequels and a whole new Avengers team. With Marvel said there is 7,000 characters, and there are a lot more stories to tell. What we have to look at, Marvel is necessarily the volume of Marvel stories we are telling, but how many times we go back to where certain characters sequels that typically work well for us. Do you need a third and a fourth, for instance, or is it time to turn to other characters? So it's going to be very interesting what Marvel does in the upcoming future. I know I heard the rumors saying they are pushing back certain projects to a different dates, but yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen and in the future. I would say between 2024 and 2025. But yeah, but Marvel got a lot of thinking to do, but we'll have to wait to see what they're gonna do there. But but that's all the mainstream news I got for you guys today. So let's get into our final discussion for today, and that's we got a movie review for you guys today, and that is Scream 6. And the directors of this movie were the last directors that directed the Scream 5, as they like to call themselves, Radio Silence. But man, this was a really good the Scream movie. But let me get but let me tell you the storyline for this Scream. So this follows a news Ghostface who targets the surviving members of the Woodsboro legacy attacks from the last movie. So it tells that the Carpenter sisters and the Meeky twins move out of Woodsboro into New York City. So yeah, and then like I said, this is a really good Scream film. I think this goes above with the very first Scream and Scream 2. This is how really good this was. And let me tell you about like Ghostface. The Ghostface in this movie, oh my god. Ghostface was more brutal and more ruthless and vicious in this one. Oh my goodness. Like this Ghostface was incredible. And and I gotta say, I love the performances for everybody, and especially the kills. The kills in this movie, oh my god. There was a lot of stabbing and a lot of gut stabbing in this one. Like, oh my god, that it was crazy, y'all. Like, oh my goodness, there was a lot of gut stabbing in this one, but the comedy was great, the action was great, horror was great. You kind of felt the drama from each character, and I like how they portrayed Sam Carpenter in this movie. So they kind of made her like if she has like mental health issues, like having visions of from her father, Billy Loomis. In case you guys know the original Ghostface, the original one of the original Ghostface killers. And in this one, I like how they touch on that. That was great. And like I mentioned, the comedy, it's kind of like a black comedy, if you wanted to call it that. That's why the comedy of this one was great. And oh, I forgot to mention, this is the first screen that does not feature Ned Campbell as Sidney Prescott, because you guys already know why I mentioned Ned Campbell would not be in this one, because she felt that the offer that was presented to her was unacceptable. So they definitely wrote in the script like how Sidney Prescott got her happy ending. So in this universe, so I'm glad they was able to write her off well. So but we did see Courtney Cox back, the as Gail Weather. She has returned, and another character returned was Hayden Panettiere as Kirby Reed from Scream 4, and she was one of my favorite characters from Scream 4. So I'm glad she was able to return and in this one as well. But man, what else I can say? How can I say this without spoiling? Oh my god, I don't know how I can say this, but huh, but I'm gonna say it anyway. There was a lot there was a lot of Ghostface reveal in this one. Man, like it was crazy. Okay, if you guys seen how the opening sequence at Scream B, um, in Scream 5 in the opening sequence, like if you guys already seen Scream 5, so that's really no spoilers there. But if you guys seen Scream 5, there nobody actually died in the opening sequence. But like if you saw Scream 1 to Scream 4, like you actually see someone die in the opening sequence. So so back to the Scream 6. So they went back to the original rules here, but it was very different to how the each from the past. It's very different from the past 5 Scream does with their opening sequence. So yeah, they went back to the original rules, but it was very different from how the past Scream 5 movies had did. So yeah, but back to what I was saying, there was a lot of reveals of Ghostface in this film, but and man, I can say this one without spoiling anything, but uh, I have to say the final Ghostface revealed in in the final climax of the movie was kind of very similar to Scream 2, and that's all I'm gonna and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna mention there. So but and you guys already seen this in the trailers, and I like how they did how they presented the museum of all the past ghost faces and kills and all that other stories. So this makes me want to see a potential Halloween Horror Nights house with Scream. Like you could set up all the like the museum, like a museum of all the past ghost faces, the kills, and the stories of each brutal kills and all that other stuff. Like if you see the museum, and I think they already made a museum. I think it's either in New York or L.A. So I might have to go back and check it out, see where it's at. But yeah, after looking at the museum in the movie, they got to make a Halloween Horror Nights, and this has the potential for 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 a franchise presence in Halloween Horror Nights. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna that I'm gonna mention about that. But yeah, but other than that, I give this movie a minus. But like I said, it is as good as the first two Scream movies, but it did have its flaws in the movie. And let me just say this: the ending of the movie was kind of whack at times. I wish they had a kind of like a better ending in there. And there's certain people that you think have died in the movie, and I was like, and they come back. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm like, if they going Fast and the Furious silly in this movie, are like, how many organs did that person got? Like, how did this person did not die in this movie? So yeah, like it was crazy. And last thing I want to mention, like every time you watch a Scream movie, like you go in there as a fan of it, but at the same time, like you go in there like if you was a detective for yourself and you try to figure out, oh wait, hold up, this person might be the killer, or this person might be the killer. Just how the way you see like everything flows in the movie. So yeah, you try to be a detective as yourself as you watch the movie, but you think that person is the killer, but they always leave you with surprises when it comes to the reveal. So yeah, but that's all I'm gonna mention. Yeah, but and as far as the Ghostface as himself, yeah, that Ghostface would definitely be fighting for that number one spot between the Ghostface killers from the first for the first two movies. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I gave this movie an A minus. That this was a really good Scream movie to check out, and I'll be definitely gonna be checking out the if you guys not seen, like they always post a video of in each Scream movie saying like who killed who was the ghost face there, who made the phone calls, and all the other stuff. So I will definitely be checking out there because like every time I watch a Scream movie and I try to be a detective myself and like, oh, this person might have done it or this person might have done it, and then after you see the reveal, now like you have to go back and watch to see like who killed who and who made the phone calls. Even though they did mention in the past saying like, oh, like just because that person might have been a killer, that doesn't mean they might be the same height and others. Because they even mentioned, do not pay attention to the height and all the others. Just pay attention to the movements and the phone calls or where that person might be at. So that's all I'm gonna mention there. But yeah, really good Scream movie. Recommend you guys to go check it out. But that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts and opinion. Who you think is going to win the Oscars tonight. And don't forget, and if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell when new episodes are uploaded. And of course, if you're listening to Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, don't forget to follow me there as well. But other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off. Peace.